abortion. Now I know, after saying that, you might be thinking, hold on, where's this guy going with this? And that's to be expected. Abortion is a heavy subject in today's age and can stir up a lot of emotions, but that doesn't necessarily mean it should go unaddressed. 60% of women in their 20s obtain abortions, and 60% of abortions are obtained by women in their 20s, and women 19 years and younger have the highest ratio of abortions. This is important to anyone. The potential of abortions can affect anyone, no matter if you're male or female, young or old, or if it's you or someone close to you. As a son of a mother who had an unexpected pregnancy at a young age in her teens and was faced with this decision, I'm here in hopes to encourage you to maybe change your ways and help to reduce these occurrences. Abortion can be mitigated through safe sex practices, choosing your sexual partners wisely, as well as potentially sexual abstinence. Now, abortions can be problematic, either physical or emotional, and I'm not necessarily here to discuss the political implications of pro-life or pro-choice. That's for you to decide. But I think no matter where you stand, we can all agree that avoiding these situations as much as possible is important. Now, these three things, safe sex, sexual partners, or choosing sexual partners wisely, and sexual abstinence are the big ways to mitigate these occurrences. Now let's start with safe sex. Now, something we all, or most of us, have heard about and discussed often. Birth control is a very popular choice and is highly accessible. Often even, as well as forms that don't necessarily require discipline in taking pills on a very strict schedule. But for women who are concerned with the safety of hormonal sex controls, or just don't have that many sexual partners, condoms are also another very popular choice. With condoms are easier to use and don't have any inherent side effects and are very effective because of the modern material technologies that we have access to today. But that's something a lot of us have talked about already. Now let's discuss something that's less often addressed: choosing your sexual partners wisely. Reproductive coercion is an issue in sexual relationships. An article was posted by the Journal of Interpersonal Violence and stated that women who report reproductive coercion are less often or less likely to use contraceptives during sexual intercourse, as well as report lower sexual self-efficacy. And where there is reproductive coercion, there is also reproductive opposition. In the case that you accidentally become pregnant with someone who does not want to have a child, your morals could potentially be challenged and also potentially be undermined. Now, choosing your sexual partners even goes as far as making sure, being clear-minded before you engage. Alcohol consumption can cause people not necessarily to become violent, but to manipulate others based on their known knowledge of what alcohol can do and inhibit their person's ability to think clearly. And this can happen for both men and women. Now, if we all just make sure that we choose our people that we associate with wisely, these can be avoided as well as any future harms as well. Now let's talk about something that people don't often like to hear: sexual abstinence. Now, even though people don't like to hear this, this is the best way to avoid unwanted pregnancies. Sexual abstinence, you can avoid mitigates unwanted pregnancies, as well as avoid the potential difficult moral decision of whether or not to keep the child, as well as any risks, whether physical or otherwise, that potentially come with an abortion procedure. And as well as, although with sexual abstinence being a really good mitigator of unwanted pregnancies, with this you can also live in honor of God. As 1 Thessalonians 4 verses 3 through 5 state, It is God's will that you should be sanctified, that you should avoid sexual immorality, that each of you should learn to control your own body in a way that is holy and honorable, not in passionate lust, like the pagans who do not know God. Sexual abortion can be avoided and mitigated through sexual abstinence, safe sex practices, as well as choosing your potential partners wisely. And this is, in general, a practice of self-control and being mindful. Now, some of you might be thinking, condoms take away the pleasure. Being decisive takes away the spontaneity. Or no one is not going to have sex. And these things might be unpopular because of these reasons. But I want you to take a step back and think, would you rather have a little less fun now or even less fun in the future when you're faced with a difficult decision? And would you wish that on your siblings, your friends, or your future children? Take a step back and truly think, and you might just change your mind.